So as always, if you all enjoyed this video, then please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to see more content just like this in the future. If I look weird to you, and if you watched the last video, I'm using the cinematic lens on my phone right now. I'm just testing it out, seeing how much you all like it, seeing how well it uploads, and it looks great. You know, I'm in like really great focus, and it's all blurry back here, like my hand's so blurry, and now it's that great focus. Okay. In case you missed it somehow, this last week I went on vacation to Disney World with my mom. We were there for 7 days. We left Saturday and came back on Saturday. 7 days with my mom at Disney World. We stayed at the All-Star Movies Resort. Pretty great resort. You know, all the things. So, but this video, it's going to be pretty long probably, but this video is going to be me ranking and reviewing my trip that I took with my mom, this vacation. So, as an overall general note, I like vacationing, but, you know, vacationing for 7 days at Disney World is kind of hard. All that people, the heat of Florida, everything is expensive as shit no matter where you go, and traffic. I mean, we didn't drive anywhere, but because we used the buses the whole time, because Disney's transit system is actually really great. But yeah, we did not drive everywhere. We took the buses everywhere we went, and it's just really, it's all the people, it's the heat, it's my mom's attitude when she gets upset. So, but I'm going to be going through, so right now I have pulled up all of Disney World's rides and attractions, and I'm going to be going through them all, and I'm going to be talking about the ones that I did ride, because there's a bunch of rides that I didn't get to ride because their wait lines were too ridiculous. So, we're going to be ranking these there's going to be 4 rankings for this video. There's not going to be any flashy graphics on screen. I'm not doing that. I don't have an editor. The 4 rankings are bad, okay, good, and great. Those are the 4 rankings that I'll be giving to all the rides I rode throughout this video. And I'll also be able to rank rides I've ridden in the past, because this is like our 6th or 7th time going to Disney World. We've never been to Disney World for exactly 7 days. This is the second longest that I was ever at Disney World. The first time was 9 days. The first time I ever went to Disney World was 9 days at Disney World, but it was like much smaller, and you know, people were much less privileged back then. So, but of course, okay, we're just gonna get into the video. So first up is It's a Small World. It's a Small World is a short little boat ride through this through like these. Yeah, it's a short boat ride path. It's not short, it's actually really long. It's like a 20-minute or 15 ride, because it's a slow boat ride through all these. You basically like take a tour of the world, and there's little people up on, like little people animatronics up on the sides of the path, of the boat path that you're on, and they sing the song called It's a Small World, but they all sing it in their different languages and musical styles that are known about those countries in the world. It's a fun ride. It's 100% for like little kids, but it is a fun ride. The only thing I'll complain about is that the seats that you sit on are uncomfortable, like seriously uncomfortable. So It's a Small World gets a just okay. Next up is the Astral Orbiter. I did not ride this one. In fact, I've never ridden the Astral Orbiter, but I have seen it, and it's the same as something like the Flight of Dumbo, where you get in, and then it lifts up into the air, and then it spins around. And so it's just a regular, once again, another ride for like littler kids, like children, like kids who are like 10 and under, maybe, with their parents or something like that. So I would also give that a just okay, a number 2. Next is the Avatar Flight of Passage. So the first time we ever rode the Avatar Flight of Passage, I think that we were there the same month that it opened. And the Avatar Flight of Passage is one, its wait time is ridiculous. Every time, even though the ride's been out for like 2 or 3 years now, and it should not be as popular as it was, it still sort of is. Because every time we go, freaking the ride always has like a minimum 1.5 hour wait time. Which is like, I mean, that's nothing compared to what it was. I think the first time we rode it, it was a 4-hour wait time. We sit in line for 4 hours to ride the Avatar Flight of Passage. I'm going to say that it was worth it because it's a great ride. So what it is, it's a simulation ride. You get inside this little, what you do is you ski on this like little bike. And so since it's Avatar, what they say to immerse you is that they're going to link your mind with an avatar that they have out in the field so that you can do this thing that the Navi, where you get to ride the Ikron / Banshee thing that the Navi people of Avatar ride on and fly on. And it's like this rite of passage that you're doing. And that's why it's called Avatar Flight of Passage. And so, so you sit on this bike, and then it's like, oh, we're going inside the Avatar, and then you're there. And it's a simulation ride where, through the use of lights and sound, and you wear these like 3D glasses, and you sit on this bike that moves, and there's a monstrous screen right in front of you. And then what it does is that it simulates you actually riding on the back of one of these things by moving the bike that you're sitting on, as well as with the sound, and like as you're flying through the air, sort of, it actually blows wind in your face. One of the things that Avatar Flight of Passage does that's different from a lot of other simulation rides is that they actually spray water in your face when you go near water in the simulation. So that's really good. I'm going to give Avatar Flight of Passage a great. Next is the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I don't know what's up with this ride. I don't know what characters it's supposed to be for, unless it's supposed to be for the Jamboree characters, like the Country Bear Jamboree characters. But I don't know if it is or not. The only thing I know connecting those two is the fact that the rides are right next to each other. This ride is right next to where Splash Mountain is at. Yeah, this ride is literally right next to where Splash Mountain is at. And so we weren't able to ride this ride. For some reason, this is like one of the most sought after ridden rides in all of Disney World for some reason. I have no idea why. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And so, I mean, I've only ever ridden it one time, and it's a roller coaster with small drops, and I'll give it a just okay as well. Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin is next. So this is a ride that's on a track, and you sit in this little car that's moving, and you have a gun, and you're supposed to shoot targets in front of you that are all Buzz Lightyear themed. So that's what the ride is. This is one that my mom wanted to ride really bad, and we rode it, and it was just okay. So yeah, just okay. Number 2. Country Bear Jamboree is, I think it's a show. I think it's like an attraction animatronic show, yeah. Classic indoor stage shows. So I think we maybe have ever done this once. It's another one that's for like little kids. So I'm going to give that another just okay. Oh, next up is Dinosaur. Dinosaur is a top 3 all-time ride for me. This ride is so fun. It is so awesome. The premise of the ride is that you are going back in time to bring back a dinosaur with you so that we can just do something with evolution on those, whatever the scientist in the video says. And so then you get in this car, and then you like go back in time, but like, and the car like bumps around and moves around, and it's freaking awesome. And you encounter all these dinosaurs, and it's thrilling. It's like downright scary at some point. I mean, it literally says that it's dark and scary under the tags, and it's Dinosaur's awesome. Dinosaur gets it great. Next is the Discovery Island Trails, which is an animal encounter at Animal Kingdom. So this is like, if it's what I'm remembering, the Discovery Island Trails is Disney's is like the zoo sort of thing that's kind of enclosed inside of Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is my favorite park, and we've only ever done this once because it's always so crowded. So I would say Discovery Island Trails gets a good. It's at number 3. Dumbo the Flying Elephant, I mean, it's the exact same thing as the freaking thing from earlier, so it gets a just okay. Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, gets a great. It is my favorite ride in all of Disney World. Nothing else comes close. You literally, because I mean, I love Asian culture. I love cryptids, and the Yeti is a cryptid. This ride has a single rider line, so I can ride it quickly by myself. I can ride it plenty of times. I mean, it doesn't close till 8 p.m., so you can ride it in the dark, which is like a whole surreal experience all on its own. My favorite thing is that when you get to the top of the mountain, if you look on your right side, a bunch of people have thrown their hairbands onto the little side of the mountain right there. It's become like kind of like a tradition to do. I've never done it because I don't use hairbands, but so Expedition Everest is my favorite ride. It has cinematics. It goes fucking backwards in the dark. You see the Yeti. I could, like, honestly, whenever we're riding through, I could reach up my hand like this and probably touch the Yeti's hand. That'd be really bad because I would probably hurt myself. But then, like, it's awesome. It has big drops. It goes really fast. It's exciting. It's comfortable. I mean, since it goes backwards. It has big drops in the dark that go backwards. I mean, it's awesome. Hell, Expedition Everest gets a 4. Great. Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. I don't think we've ever done that one, but it's another animal encounter, so I'm going to give that a 3. It's Tough to Be a Bug I remember riding this. It's not a ride. It's an attraction. It's a show, sort of, where it's based on it's based on Bug's Life. And you go into like this theater and they do like a show for you all, but then the grasshoppers invade. And the only thing I don't like about it, the only thing I remember from when I was like, 10 years old when we went, is they literally have like spiders that come down from the ceiling, and it freaked me the fuck out. So I'm going to say It's Tough to Be a Bug gets the first bad. It's Tough to Be a Bug is bad. Jungle Cruise is bad. Fuck you, Jungle Cruise. I hate Jungle Cruise so much. Jungle Cruise always has like a 2.5, 3 hour wait time. And it's stupid. It's bullshit because the ride sucks. It's a slow boat ride where the person driving the boat does nothing but crack stupid bad jokes the whole time that aren't actually funny. Like, they're not even bad. It's like there's good jokes, there's bad jokes, and then there's jokes that are so bad that they're funny, and then there's just bad. And all the jokes that the people driving the boat because I don't even think they're actually driving them. All the jokes that they make are bad. Okay, and I understand it's iconic, and the movie that came out with The Rock recently is really great. No, Jungle Cruise sucks. Jungle Cruise gets a 1. The Kali River Rapids it might actually be the only it's like only one of 2 water rides in all of Disney World, if you don't count both water parks. So there's the 4 main Disney Worlds, which is Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios. And I think that Kali River Rapids and Splash Mountain are the only 2 real water rides. But what it is you get in like this circular boat thing, and you freaking it's a fast ride that has small drops. I remember we rode it the first time I ever went, and we came down a drop and we were backwards in water, whoosh, backwards, and we didn't have ponchos, so we walked around Animal Kingdom for the rest of the day, literally soaked from head to toe. It wasn't a very good experience. I haven't ridden it, and I've never had the desire to ride it, so Kali River Rapids gets a just okay. Kilimanjaro Safaris gets a great, because, so fun fact about Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is the biggest theme park in the world because it has a full-size nature reserve on its grounds. God, I'm pretty sure that, I don't know the number exactly, but yeah, it has a full-size nature reserve, and Kilimanjaro Safaris is where you go to see animals on that nature reserve. It's a legit safari. Like, it is a ride, but it's also not a ride because of the fact that you're not on rails, you're not on some kind of guided system. They are actually driving a truck. And it's a big-ass truck. This is like a freaking 10-foot, 20-foot tall truck that they're driving around, and the people who drive trucks know all about the animals. It's amazing. I've learned so many cool, amazing animal facts about Kilimanjaro Safari, about animals. that are found in Africa. So Kilimanjaro Safari gets a 4. Liberty Square Riverboat. Yeah, I don't actually think we've ever ridden it, but it's just a slow boat ride around Magic Kingdom that lets you see some of the sights. It gets a 2. It's just okay. The Mad Tea Party, which is just the teacup ride, where you get inside the teacup and it spins around, and you can also spin around your individual teacup as well. That ride can be really fun, but it's more for kids. I'm going to give it a good number 3. Maharaja Jungle Trek. I don't know if we've ever... That might be new, now that I think about it. I've never seen that before. But it's another animal encounter, so yeah, I get to 3. It's good. Mickey's PhilharMagic. The Mickey's PhilharMagic is it's an animated show at Magic Kingdom where Mickey is from what I remember, Mickey is supposed to lead. He's supposed to be orchestrating, or he's supposed to be conducting an orchestra for a concert. But then like some shit happens and he's like, he gets freaking teleported to some other dimensions and he's got to find his musical tools or something like that. From what I remember, it was fun. A big wait line though. But yeah, it was fun, so I'll give it a good. I'll give it a 3. Navi River Journey is the only other ride for in Pandora at Animal Kingdom. I would give it a. I mean, it's a slow boat ride that has a lot of really great, beautiful sights. But I don't really ever... I mean, it has a huge wait line as well, and it's another boat ride. I mean, I'm just gonna give it a... I think I'm just gonna give it a... I'll give it a just okay at 2. Peter Pan's Flight. Another super kiddie ride. This time you get in, it's a boat, but it's not really a boat because you're on a rail that's above you that like, because it's like, so the one thing I remember from this ride is that there's a part where you come out of like an opening and then you go up into the air and you see Neverland down below you, and it's supposed to create this this depth that like Neverland is far away and you're way up in the sky in this flying ship, and that was really cool. So, I'm going to say that I will give Peter Pan's Flight a just okay because it is a cool, fun ride, but the wait time is just too long. Pirates of the Caribbean gets a great. Pirates of the Caribbean is one of my favorite movie series of all time. Johnny Depp is an amazing actor. Orlando Bloom is an amazing actor. Freaking... I can't remember his first name, but Mr. Rush is a great actor. They freaking bring those characters to life so much. They've done so many cool things to make that ride kind of spooky. The kind of spooky at Magic Kingdom. The only gripe I have is I just wish that the ride was longer, because you go down this caveway and you see like this. You're in like a sort of like a ship graveyard with the skeletons talking about how dead men tell no tales. And you come around the corner and there's a big skull on the wall, and then it flashes, and that's when they take your picture. And then you go down the small drop. And then you come out to Barbossa and on his ship firing off at a fort. And then that's when you come into like the burning town that's being invaded by pirates. And I just wish it was all longer. I wish it was a longer ride that had more of the fanfare that I love. But Pirates of the Caribbean gets a 4. A great. The Prince Charming Regal Carousel gets a just okay. It's just a carousel. It's not anything special. It's for little kids. Just okay. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I've only ever ridden it once, which was this last time, because once again, it's one of those rides that has a monster wait time, but I can't really understand it either. One funny thing that did happen though, everywhere we went inside of everywhere at Disney, you had to have a mask on while you were indoors at all times. Understandable. There was a group of people behind us, like 6 or 7 of them, who literally got to the moment where they're about to break us off into our groups to get in line for like getting on the ride. And none of them have masks. I don't know. I mean, it's just like there are literally signs everywhere. There's employees screaming at other people to put their masks on every time they walk inside. I don't understand how these people, I don't know how they got through the front gates without even having masks. I don't know how they were able to ride any other rides without having masks. They kept saying that they didn't know that they were supposed to wear masks the whole time. It's just like, I don't understand. But Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, for only ever having ridden it once, the line was just too long. I don't remember anything from the ride. It gets it just okay. Space Mountain, get to 4. Space Mountain is the 3rd fastest coaster in all of Disney. Actually, it's the 2nd fastest coaster in all Disney World, but it's the 3rd fastest ride in all of Disney World. Space Mountain is awesome. The only gripe that anyone could have about Space Mountain is that it's really bumpy. Like, oh my god, it's bumpy. Like, if you have neck problems or back issues, don't ride Space Mountain because you'll probably regret it. So the ride goes really fast. It's really cool. It's really fun. The only thing I would change, I think they do have this thing where if you ride Space Mountain at a certain time, they turn the lights on. I would love that. I wish that the lights on were all the time. I wish that it was a bright ride instead of a dark ride. But I mean, yeah, Space Mountain gets a 4. Great ride. Splash Mountain gets a 1. It fucking sucks. I don't understand why people go so crazy for Splash Mountain. It must be because they probably brand it as some kind of kids ride or something like that. I mean, it's just, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. Yeah, Splash Mountain gets a 1. It sucks. The animation experience at Conservation Station. So what you do is, in order to get to Rafiki's Planet Watch, which is where this one is, you have to get on this like train, and as you go through this train, it takes you partially through the reservation. They tell you secrets like they tell you things that they've done for movies in the past, like the movie. So like last time the last time we were on it was right after the new Lion King came out, and they showed us the male lion that they modeled Simba's new face off of, which I thought was really cool. Then the animation experience at Conservation Station, I don't remember it, so I'm gonna give it a just okay. The Barnstormer, Oh, I think I know what that ride is. This is another super kiddie ride, like for like children who are like 5 and under. I mean, yeah, it gets it just okay. The Hall of Presidents, man, that Hall of Presidents is a 4. Hall of Presidents is a 4. Every time we go, I see the Hall of Presidents, or I go to the Hall of Presidents show literally multiple times in one day because I love it so much. Because it's so awesome. It puts into great perspective the difficulty of being the president of the U.S. Because it talks about like they have the biggest screen I've ever seen in my entire life. Literally, I'm not joking. It is probably 150-foot screen from one side of the theater to the other, all one big screen. Or it's not all one screen, it's like 3 screens, but they all connect into one screen, and it's amazing. It's a great story that they tell. I love the voice of the woman who narrates it. I love the voice of the woman who narrates it. There's a scene where, so Disney has always been a leader in animatronic technology, because Walt Disney was always an innovator of that. And so there's a part where they get to the Civil War and they're talking about the Gettysburg Address, and then the center screen lifts up and it shows Abraham Lincoln sitting in the big chair, and then the animatronic fucking stands up and delivers the speech and delivers the Gettysburg Address. And then that's when the screen goes back down, and then the rest of the show continues, and then the middle screen, or like 2 of the middle screens lift back up, and it reveals all the presidents, all the way up to Joe Biden, from George Washington all the way to Joe Biden. They have an animatronic for every president we've had. Last year or 2 years ago when my mom and I went, Trump was the one in the center, and he said the oath of the presidency, and he also gave his inauguration speech. And then this year they have Biden standing in the middle with Trump off to where he's going to be standing from now on. And now Biden gives his says his oath, but he doesn't say his inauguration speech. But then the part that I love the most is that right before that happens, George Washington stands up and says a few words in it. I mean, listening to whoever played George Washington or whoever does his voice makes me cry almost every time. I love listening to George Washington talk when I go see that show. Okay. Next is the Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion is my mom's favorite ride. But I would say the Haunted Mansion also gets a 4 as well. It's really awesome. It's another one of those constantly moving rides. So they divvy you up, you get into this thing, the lap bar comes forward, and then you just kind of slowly ride through this whole Haunted Mansion place, and there's freaking spooky stuff happening, and then, you know, the voice talking to you, and you see the ghosts everywhere, and then you get into the graveyard, and they're all singing, and it's really cool. It's really cool. It's really fun. It is scary, but it's actually not really scary. Despite being a Haunted Mansion, it is a very lighthearted ride. So, yeah, but it gets a 4. The Magic Carpets of Aladdin is the exact same as the Dumbo ride, so it gets a just okay. Ugh. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, I don't actually think we've ever done that one, but it's a super kiddie ride. So, I'm going to give that a just okay as well. The Oasis exhibits, we haven't ever done that one, I don't think. But it's another animal encounter one where you get to see some of the animals. So I would say that probably gets a 3 as well, so that's pretty good. Tom Sawyer's Island is not a ride. It's not even really a show or an attraction. It's literally you take a small little boat 20 feet across the water, and there's a whole island to itself. Just a whole island to itself. It doesn't have anything on it. It just has a bunch of like sites and little buildings. I don't even know if you can go into them, but it's supposed to be like Tom Sawyer's Island. I haven't done it in years, but I would say that gets it just okay as well. The Tomorrowland Speedway is at Magic Kingdom, and it's this little thing where you stand in line, you go down onto this track, you get in this little car, and then you drive the car and you like race people who are next to you. It's a fun ride. It's really hard to control, though, because the cars are so banged up and the wheels don't turn right. And then there's this bar that's in the center underneath your car to prevent you from hitting people that are to either side of you, which I understand why they put that there. So Tomorrowland Speedway, it gets a 2. It's just okay. Oh, and that's going to be part 1. I'm going to end the video right now.